Hello and welcome to Rallying the Forge. I'm Solimer, and in this episode, we've got a lot of stuff to cover, so why don't we just jump right into it. Today we had a patch, so some updates for the client. We haven't had one in a little bit, so it's nice to have. And let's jump to the Discord to look at the patch notes. Alright, so we have fixes and updates to cosmetic system. We are working on getting previous cosmetics from events and crowdfunds up soon. Added some animation to the menu. And the best for last, new direct challenge system. You and an opponent can type in the same code and be matched up in a game. This will help events run smoother by avoiding having to add everyone on Steam. They have a video on how it works. I will show you how it works once we get back to the client. Then he says, what's next? We are still investigating issues players are having with disconnecting from the game. Previous changes did not fix things, so we are continuing to try and fix this issue. So I haven't seen this issue, but I haven't been playing a ton either. Some people are having the issue, others might not be. So I don't know. I don't know how prevalent it is. I do know obviously it's very upsetting and frustrating, but not sure what's causing it at all because I haven't seen it. It says the next legendary drop will be on November 11th, as I said in my last video. And then it's called Beakers and Bones will be available for a limited time. More info can be found at, and they've got a post. I already did the one. We're going to do another one today after this. It says next month's event, the Winter Solstice, will be available for sign up tomorrow. More details about this for fun event then. So they started this last year, and it was basically, I feel like it coincided with the release of the random deck feature in the client. I don't know what this year, if they're going to do the same thing or not, but last year, basically, all month long, you'd have, it's kind of like a league, kind of like the Convergence League is. Every week, you'll get an opponent, and you'll play, I don't know if it's a best of 3, I think it's a best of 3, and then for every win you get like a deck code or something like that, and then at the end of the whole thing, there might have been some additional prizes. I don't recall specifically, but they gave out a lot of stuff to everyone who participated, and some SBE employees participated, including Justin Gary, Lucas, and some others. So hopefully they will participate again this year. I know Lucas said he was going to. He was going to try and get some other members of the team too. I'm sure Crimson will. So we'll see who signs up. Hopefully we get a ton of people to play. It's a lot of fun. It's just 4 weeks over the holiday season. It's obviously busy for everyone with the holidays and family and stuff, but it's just fun to get some games in a casual setting. It's just for fun. I'm wondering if it's going to be with Quick Fuse this year. Maybe. I don't know what they're going to do. So we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow when they post it. And then I'll have to cover that in another video later this week, which I'll probably touch on this weekend. I have a big video coming out this weekend for the Convergence League and an in-depth how-to and all the details with that. But if you're a new player, I highly recommend signing up. It's very casual. It's not like someone's going to have these awesome decks and crush you. It's completely random. Granted, some people can get some really awesome combos out of it, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of people find weird, I don't want to say weird, but synergies with decks that they wouldn't have thought of or didn't foresee happening. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I got this deck from when I did a random fuse one time. So that happens, and so that's a possibility for you if you're a new player, smaller collection, getting to see some different combinations maybe you hadn't tested prior. So it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend signing up. All players of all skill levels. So that's the patch update. Client. So the animation, if you can see it, it's hard to tell, but their outfits move now. So it's limited animation, but it's a little something. So it's kind of meh, but it's okay. So we'll see if they add any more over time. They probably will. So they added direct challenge. So this is interesting as well. So you can just hit the randomize button, and then it gives you a code, and apparently it stays there. So if you have a code that's like your code, you know, it stays there, because I randomized the code earlier when I was in the client. I left the client, came back, and it was still there. So that's interesting. It's kind of good. So then you hit submit, and then it tells you down here code entered, and now you have copy code. So now you can copy the code, copies it to clipboard, tells you it does that, and now you can paste it wherever you need to. So this will function very well for mobile. Hit the randomize, copy the code, then paste it to whatever chat you're using, whether it's Discord or something else. That's going to be something that's going to be interesting with mobile. I didn't think about that with Discord. That'll be interesting. So that's just a thought I had. But so this is the new feature, Direct Challenge. This means you do not have to... What if I can back out? I guess... that code's entered until forever. There's no way to clear it unless you submit a new code. So interesting. But this means you don't have to have Steam friends on here. You can see my list is quite long because I've added everyone I've ever been in an event with. So it goes on and on. So you don't have to have Steam friends anymore. You can just do direct code. If you want to do Steam friends, you can, and then they're always there. You can always just send a challenge then. Ooh, I got to go all the way back to the top. I'm not going to scroll to the top. But you just challenge the friend there, and good to go. We already covered shop updates last time. There's nothing new, so we already covered all that. Otherwise, in the client, I did not check out cosmetics. Let's look at cosmetics. So I've got the same emotes. I got the zombie friend emote. Medals, I don't know. I don't know if I was missing any, to be honest. I don't see anything new for me, so I don't think I had anything. It'd be nice if they had a list of stuff you didn't have. I'll have to recommend that, because as someone, I'm a collector, so I like to have them all, and if it'd be nice to know which ones I don't have. Default Forge, they're gonna have banners, card faces. I don't use prismatic, hard to read the cards. Trails, minions, don't have minions yet. So that stuff's coming. So that's gonna be fun, interesting, and yeah, we'll see how all that goes. So what else? I think that's all for the client that I can think of. So we do have, let me read the article if you haven't seen it. I'm not going to read the whole article. You can go, this is the link that he had posted in the Discord, but I'll talk about the cards and everything else. So this is Nick Fletcher's article about design and thoughts about how they're designing things, I guess. So it gives a little bit of a little story kind of talk about Aloyn and Necrium, and then so he talks about how one of the ways scientists often generate value is through minions, and that our direction is clear. This legendary drop would lean into minion synergy like never before, and I agree. There's a lot of that. I think it's interesting. It also could mean the revival of some minion hate cards. There was a time when the client first came out, I feel like, where there was a lot of minion type of decks that were just dominating the queue and play and events and everything. And then that caused, like, for me, at that time, I was not a very good player. So I made decks to kill minions, basically, just to give myself a chance. And things eventually shifted away from the minions, but maybe they'll make a comeback. So they handed out also spoilers, which I will have a spoiler today, to various content creators who requested a card. So that'll be coming as people make them and post them. So I will get mine. I'll see tonight's going to come out. So they said there was one more problem. Compared to dinosaurs, scientists weren't quite as widespread an archetype. So to broaden the possibilities, they introduced a brand new Forge Modifier, Maniacal, which grants creatures the scientist creature type. So it expands deck building options, but also unlocks wild new interactions with existing scientist payoff cards. So then they give 2 examples. So you got the Drake and the Justicar, and they're Maniacal, so they are scientists as well as their regular types. So it's interesting, I guess. Yeah, it's neat. They get to take advantage of the scientist synergies, or they put a scientist on the board for you, but I just don't know that I like that. You're basically losing a potential modifier that would actually be useful. Not that scientist isn't useful, but you don't need 10 scientists in a half deck for that to have good synergy. I mean, if you've got 4 or 5 scientists, you're probably doing pretty well in that department. I guess we'll see with what cards come out how many scientists you really need. I'm thinking like how I'm worried now that when Set 4 came out, they had the Metamind creature type, and it seemed really cool at first, but then you realize after looking at all the cards, they only work when you had multiple on the board, and it's not often you've got a full board of creatures. If you do, you're probably winning the game if your opponent isn't able to keep up. And then with the Metaminds in Set 4, they worked so well together. If they were out there, you'd be dominating your opponent. But what are the odds you're going to have all of them out there? So what do we need a full board of scientists for? What kind of synergies are they adding? I haven't seen it yet, but we'll find out. We'll find out what cards they got that are going to need where you want more scientists, or where that's going to add so much value that this modifier is going to be useful. I don't find the modifiers that add a creature type that useful. Not without something else, but I'm just not a fan of the bland cards. Like, it's fine for the base creature to be kind of bland, but then you give them a modifier to give them something so they do something. This doesn't really move the needle for me, and it does not make me happy, because you're going to get a creature that otherwise could have been really good, and you're going to get he's a scientist now, so that's great. When I'd rather just get a regular scientist that already exists. So then they also spoil the Killion Converged card. So they show what that card's going to be. I don't know how much I like it, honestly. So in Beakers and Bones, they've shifted discard pile manipulation into a Loins toolkit. Yeah, I mean, if you look at me, it's a 5/5. This is the level 2 version. I don't know what the level 3 version is, or if there is even one. If this is the only version of it, like, I didn't bring up the other article, but like we saw it as a level 4 ability. You're bringing out Killion Converged in Cycle 4. It's a 5/5. The kind of drop you want is a 20/20. What are the odds that you have 15 level 2 and 3 cards in your discard pile? That does not seem strong to me. He's a scientist mage, so there could be some sort of synergy there that would work with that, but I don't know. If there's a level 3 version, I'd like to see it, to see if it's going to have higher stats, give more plus. This does not really excite me. Like, if this is your Cycle 2 ability, not so bad. That could be okay. At the same time, you got to wait till the 3rd turn in the cycle to play it, so you've got the most cards in your discard pile. And It's interesting, but I don't know that I like it a ton. I don't know. Not overly thrilled with it, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's going to be next week, so it's going to be a week from today. It comes out, and we're going to... I don't know if we'll live stream or not, or if we'll just record opening a bunch of packs. But that's their article, so we'll find out where their mind's at with the design and all that. Just for reference, like Killion Converged, a nice card that'll work well with him. Obviously, card like System Upgrade. So, upgrade every card in your hand. You get that early in the cycle, then you're gonna have all those cards that go into your discard pile. It's nice. Maybe they should have made him be banish and discard pile. Maybe that would be better. I mean, it is a Forgeborn ability. It should be strong, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think of this card should be... I don't know if that it shouldn't be broken, but it should be very strong. I mean, it's not like he's got breakthrough. He's got not like Horgias' ability or anything. So I don't know. So all right, let me do my spoiler before we get to the other stuff. All right, Professor Voss. So he's obviously a scientist, 5'4", 8'7", 12'11". Stats are kind of just average. Nothing broken with the stats. His ability is when one of your creatures replaces a creature, play up to one Gizmo minion in one of your empty lanes. This ability can only trigger once per turn. The level 2 version, play up to one level 1 creature in one of your empty lanes for free. And then the level 3 is play up to one creature in one of your empty lanes for free. So I get that obviously the level 3 is really nice, can be really nice. The level 1 is kind of nice. The level 2 I don't like, because if I'm playing a Loyan, do I really need a level 1 card played for free? Then I have to have one in hand. I might just rather... I would like it to say one level 1 creature or a Gizmo minion, because there are times I'd probably just rather have the Gizmo minion, where that would work better. So it's okay. I could see this working well with an Apocamancer deck, obviously. That would be really nice. But I don't know. He's kind of like a Syntheta's Laboratory that you can kill. But it doesn't have to be in a certain lane. But you do have to keep him alive to keep his effect on the board. So it's interesting. It's an okay card. We'll see how all this works out with all the other cards that are going to be coming out. It's going to be interesting for sure. But that's my spoiler card. Definitely the level 3 can be really nice. I could definitely see some combinations. I mean, with like a Killion, for example, and Professor Voss, like you can fill up your board quickly on level 3 even if you had nothing out there. So kind of nice, but you got to get there. So not a bad card. Okay. So that's my spoiler. Let me know what you guys think of it. Good, bad, the other. We talked about the article, the update, changes to the client. So let's talk about the November Convergence League, and then we will get to some upcoming events. So the Convergence League has started, and there were 22 people who signed up and are participating. All of the pairing information can be found in the event Discord. which I'll pull up here. So Lucas posts there the update, shows the pairings, tags everyone, and then he's got the document for the decks. So you can see that, and then there's a Find My Opponent section, so you can tag your opponent if you're looking for them. If you can't find them for some reason. So I don't know how many matches have been done. I lost mine. I streamed that yesterday. Lost 2-1. Austin beat Red Eyes, and that's all that's played so far. So more matches to come this week. My video will be out soon, probably later this week. Just haven't had time to get the videos together. So, but it's going well. It's a lot of fun. Here's the list of the decks. I'm going to be putting together, I don't know when I'm going to get time, but when I get time, I'm going to put something together to pull the data for the decks, similar to how in the collection manager you can put in event information and it spews out a whole bunch of data for you. I'll do that similarly for this, and to see what cards are most popular, and it won't necessarily tell you the decks, but we'll see what we can do for some additional information to see if there's I don't know, anything additional we can potentially give people so they can see what kind of information, what kind of decks people are building and things of that nature. So we'll see what we can do, but it'll take some time to put that together and get all that data extracted and working properly. So everyone's got legal decks now. Initially, some people didn't. They had some errors, but now they know. So I think we're not going to review decks or anything. We might take a look at that come when I do my other video. I'm going to do an in-depth video on how the event works and things you have to pay attention to. I feel like I made a video and I went through some of it, but I'm going to make a video solely focused on that, trying to go in-depth with building the decks, things to pay attention to, and just maybe go through the process and build 4 new decks. I'm not positive the format yet, but I do know a lot of people have questions and it's unclear. So I want to go through that again, make a video solely for that, so that way it's easier for newer players to understand and be able to get their decks made so they can participate. The next league after this one will be January, is my understanding. So, because November is the winter solstice event, January will be back to the Convergence League, and then I think February is the prize event for the Convergence League. Okay, other events going on. So I pulled up the calendar. It's easiest to see it here. I did add them all to the SolForge, the event Discord, basically, so they show up there. Today is the 4th, so this one already happened, obviously. The Olympus Prime qualifier. Tomorrow, the 5th, 5 p.m., Legacy Gaming Guild is holding a qualifier. And then Friday at 12 p.m. and 3 p.m., there's 2 more happening. Then same times each of the next 2 weeks. And then the following week there will be Thanksgiving week, which looks like there's no events going on. I don't know if there will be a championship when that's going to happen. Maybe that'll be December, the week after. I don't know. So these are all qualifiers. So you got, 4 per week? No. Afro Play is just this Friday. Then it's just 3 per week. So there's 3 per week. And this week has 4. There's only 3 left now. They may have some different formats. I'm unsure. There's a lot of discussion in the Discord about the format that Olympus Prime used today. Basically, they're counting overkill as bonus points for your score because they only do 3 rounds, no matter how many people participate. So they're not getting clear-cut standings because they're not doing enough rounds. I think they would need at least 4 for 20 people, which I think they had 20, so they need at least 4. I don't think they would get to. I don't think they need 5, but one more round would have been just enough, probably. But because they're doing overkill points, it's really skewing the data. Like someone said, someone in the first round got 11 points for their victory, where if you got someone down to 0, your standard would be just 5 points. But they got them negative 60 points, so they got an extra 6 points. They had 11 after the first round. They could have lost the next 2 matches and finished higher, probably. Higher than other people who won at least 2 of their matches. So, I don't know. There's a lot of discussion about the format and the suggestion for the points and all that. So, I don't know if the other one's going to be the same. I don't know. I haven't looked into them. None of the times work for me. The best would be tomorrow's, but I'd have to leave work early, and I know I've got stuff I got to do. I don't think I'll be home in time. So I can't participate in any of these potentially unless I leave work early, which I might do. I don't know how. I have to read up on how the format works, if it's over time where you need to participate in multiple to keep your standing high and then you qualify, or if it's just you need to do one event, finish first, and you qualify. I don't know. So I don't really have all the details. It's not really out there. It is on X and probably their Discords and some other stuff, but not a fan of having to go to each of these different Discords to participate in all these events when we have one community. We have a Discord specifically for SolForge Fusion events. We're not using it, and I think Stoneblade should be telling them they need to use our Discord to bring people to the community. I know there's a lot of people who think, oh, well, all the OGs hate Web3 people and the Web3 people don't want to go where they're not wanted, but it's not true. There are people who do not like Web3 stuff. It has nothing to do with the people necessarily. Yes, there are some bad actors in all communities, but it'd be better if they came to the SolForge community to build it up instead of us going to their communities to build them up, because we're trying to build the game up, not their communities. So there's a lot of issues with it, and hopefully they'll get it better or right or whatever. We'll see. But I know there's a lot of people who are not participating because it's in other Discords and they have to go through a whole other process of signing up. We've already signed up for Steam, the game, online on the website. There's already been a ton of things we've signed up for just to play the game. We don't need to sign up and go into all these other Discords just to be able to play the game with other people. It seems rather ridiculous, instead of having those people come to the center source with everyone else where we can all interact with each other. So that's my opinion. I hope SBE changes it and tells them to use their event Discord, put the information in their Discord so the entire community can see the information instead of us having to go figure it out ourselves. And some people struggle with it. I know it was hard for me initially figuring all that crap out, and I had to sign up on websites and other things and put information in, and what a hassle. So I get it. They don't want to use the event website for the Swiss stuff because they find it hard on how to sign up. That's something that I don't feel was really a problem with the OG players. I know I didn't have any issues signing up on the website, but everyone else acts like it's this really difficult process. So I don't know what the issue is there, but I never had any issues. I don't recall many issues with signing up prior to the Web3 crowd. So it is what it is, but that's my opinion. That's where I stand on it. I'd like to see them join our community and play the game with us, and then they could also ask questions on how to play. When they think something's wrong, they can report it. talk about it in the Discord, bring it up to people's attention. Like, there's so many benefits to joining the official community versus having their own community where they do hundreds of things instead of, it's not just SolForge. So we'll see. But these events are going on if you want to participate. There are prizes. I don't know what the prizes are. I don't know if it varies from event to event. I think you just get deck codes potentially. I don't know how that's handed out. And then I think for the championship event, they have 1,000 SFG in prizing they give out. It is a sealed event. So, and I don't know if that's all, I don't know that process either, if that's all the same set or if it's everyone gets a random set and they play. I don't know. But so if you play in the championship event, you know, hopefully your luck is good. But yeah, I guess that's all I really have on the events. They're posted in the Discord, the main Discord, links to them, but some of the information can be hard to find. So the best thing you can do is reach out in Discord asking if you're looking to join one. Ask hours before. Don't wait to the last minute, because there could be a lot of steps for you to take before you can actually get to the point where you can play the game with those people. So just take that into consideration, and also understand, even though it's only 3 rounds, these events can take a lot longer than normal because a lot of players are new. There's a lot of issues. There's language barriers between different people. All sorts of stuff. So expect it to run longer. I would say an hour per round, and then show up early once you have already registered and everything. Still show up half hour early to make sure you can get in and do everything you need to do. That's my advice. I've done a handful of these Web3 type events before. Had good and bad experiences. There was one that I thought was going to be horrible. It started off horrible, ended up being really good. It went a lot better. There were still some issues, don't get me wrong, but that was one of the better ones. I don't remember what guild or group it was. I don't think it was any of these ones. And then there was a couple that were really bad. So, you never know what you get. It seems like these ones, if these are the same from last month, it seems like all of last month's went pretty well. So I think it's getting better, and the communities they may have chosen to pair with, it's better. So it's a step in the right direction. If you can play and you're interested in that, you can, to my understanding, there's no restrictions on decks. So if you want to come in with a platinum deck, Peter, go ahead. Take people to town. See how much negative you can take them. If you are looking for ideas on what to play, if the system is going to be based on overkill, try to build a Krogais deck, or look for a Blight Mane Dragon deck. That's my advice. I've got a couple Blight Mane Dragon decks that I can do 50 blast damage in one turn without anything from the opponent being able to do anything. So takes a little setup, but that's how the deck's built, so it works out pretty well. But that's all I've got for this episode. As I said, I'll have another video probably this weekend. I'm going to go in depth with the Convergence League, how to make your decks, the problems you can run into. I feel like I did everything before, but I guess not well enough. I also included other things with it probably. So this will be just on that. And hopefully the information will be useful to players. They can watch it and understand and see, because people have questions. So I'll pull up the chart of all the rarity symbols and all that stuff, and we can go through that. So that'll be this weekend probably. That's my goal. If not this weekend, then next week. I've got time before it needs to come out because everyone's already in the league currently. But yeah, so only other thing I've got is Season 1 standings should be coming out this week, and the prizing for that should start coming out shortly thereafter. I don't know if that's same week or the week after or what, but that's what the understanding is. So look forward to that. Check the website. I don't know if we're going to use the same link to claim. I don't know how that works, but we'll figure it out. So that's all I've got. I appreciate you watching. Feel free to comment and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the Discord and in the game. Take care. See you later.